Well, I'm off to play some amateur radio. I'm going to get myself up on a hill and test out this antenna. Let's see if it works. And if you want to know where I'm going up to the top of that hill, just in that dip there. Good height for an antenna. And this is where I live. It's around there, a little suburb of Blackburn, which stretches all the way over the hills. But I live there, and I'm going here, just about where that dip is there. There's a little bench, so I'm going to set up there. I never know why there's a letterbox here. We're in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, this is my bench. Let's set up the station. So I was actually right. My whole radio station fits in just a shoulder bag. I'm going to have to try and do this one-handed. I forgot to bring my little phone holder selfie stick, which doubles as a little tripod. So I'm going to have to do this one-handed. Let's first of all take out the battery. So this is a 12.8 volt LiFePO battery, nice and light despite the size. And of course I've got a connector for it, so I can plug the radio in. This is the antenna with the stick, and I've got the other telescopic bit in here as well. And then there's the radio. I've also got a little handheld radio. And of course I've chosen this radio for today because it's got an auto tuner in, which I'll probably need. And the microphone for it. So I'm going to get this set up. Should only take me about 2 minutes, and then I'll get back to you. Mike 7 Alpha Golf Golf. Well, unfortunately, get my hand out the way. I didn't record my contact because I forgot my tripod. I've just made a contact with someone in northern Italy, 1,700 kilometers away, or about just over 1,000 miles away, just with this little setup, a little radio, a very small antenna, and I've only got one radial, just one piece of wire led across the ground. It was a weak signal, but he could hear me, and that's the main thing. That's the purpose of this hobby, is to make contacts with people. So the bands aren't very good today. Propagation, which is sort of like the scientific term for how radio waves travel through the atmosphere, it's not very good today. But I will say this, I'm hearing a lot more stations up here, even with a small antenna, than I do when I'm at home with my big antenna. And that's because there's so much interference where I live. Not from my house. I try to insulate it as much as possible, but it's all the other houses, the smart traffic lights that we've got nearby, which of course uses Wi-Fi. It just causes so much interference that I don't hear very much when I'm on the radio at home. That's why you usually use digital modes, which is computer to computer. So it's much better up here. I'm planning to do a lot more radio outdoors, just for this reason, that I can hear so many more stations when I'm out in the countryside, even with just a small antenna, and I can make contacts. So that was a nice contact. I wouldn't have been able to do it if I was at home, but there's not much more else going on. So what I'm going to do is I've been here now about 40 minutes, and I'm going to pack up and go to the pub, I think. Or I might, because I've got my little walkie-talkie, I might just have a chat on that. Because that, despite its size, you can actually talk worldwide with it. So let me show you. So I've got a little handheld, and what you actually do with it is you tether this hotspot to your mobile phone, and This emits a signal on an amateur radio frequency, and you just tune that in on your radio, and it sends your voice down the internet and connects to another antenna somewhere, which then transmits your signal, and whoever's listening to that antenna you can have a talk with. So this is like the modern sort of ham radio, where you actually use digital technology to get your signal further. So a lot of all the what we call repeaters, amateur radio repeaters, they're all connected. Most of them are connected to the internet now. So you can actually use a hotspot like this to send your signal from your radio down through the internet and into that antenna. So I might do a bit of that this afternoon and then go to the pub. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Bye bye for now. Well, I'm back down the hill. You can see it behind me. And I'm going to go for a pint now in the pub. I enjoyed that. As a proof of concept, it worked. That antenna, in all theory, shouldn't work. It's far too small. And I only have one radial, about 5 meters long. It should never have worked, but it does. And that's one thing with amateur radio. A lot of it's experimentation and, you know, just trying something. And sometimes you're surprised. So 1,000 miles or 1.7 kilometers with just 10 watts of power. That's all I had, that little radio, and a very small compromised antenna. Yeah, I'm happy. And I also made a couple of other contacts using the handheld and connecting by the internet. So yeah, successful hour there, and I'm happy. I'm going to do this more often, definitely. But so I'm off to the pub. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye for now.